They are remembered as visionaries, the architects of a new nation, men whose words carved freedom into parchment and whose actions shaped the destiny of America. But behind the portraits, the statues, and the immortalized speeches lie stories far more complicated and secrets history often whispers but rarely tells. The Founding Fathers were not just united patriots locked in fierce debates, personal rivalries, and moral contradictions. While Thomas Jefferson penned the words of liberty, he lived a life entangled with slavery. While Benjamin Franklin stood as a beacon of reason and science, he also moved through secret societies, wielding influence beyond politics. George Washington, revered as a leader beyond reproach, carried the burden of decisions that would haunt generations, torn between unity and the fracture of ideals. The Constitution itself was not a perfect document but a series of compromises, hidden deals made in candlelit rooms where ambition and fear of failure often outweighed pure ideals. Some of these men dreamed of an empire, not just a republic. Others saw democracy as fragile, something to be tightly controlled by the few. And through all their triumphs, they carried personal struggles, debts, betrayals, secret correspondences, and private doubts about whether the experiment they began would survive. To know the Founding Fathers is to strip away the myth and see the flawed, brilliant, and deeply human men who built America not as saints, but as complex figures whose untold secrets shaped the story of a nation that is still unfolding today. It's me. This is my channel. And here are some secrets of the Founding Fathers. The United States of America was built on compromise. No group, no party, and no individual could claim it solely for themselves. Even in the years before independence, the colonies were a patchwork of interests. New England merchants chafed under British taxes while Southern planters profited from the very same system. Pennsylvania's Quaker leaders clashed with the fiery evangelists of New England. And as the debate with Britain grew, so did the disagreements among the colonies themselves. This wasn't just about tea, about taxes, or even about representation. It was about competing visions for the kind of country they were about to create. George Washington knew this better than most. He'd seen firsthand the compromises needed to win the war, forging together men from different regions, different faiths, and with different loyalties. But now, those very differences threatened to tear the fledgling nation apart. Washington had hoped for a swift end to the conflict with Britain, a decisive victory that would rally the colonies together around one flag. Instead, he faced a stalemate, a war that had become a test of endurance and one that his army was slowly losing. It was a predicament he'd find himself in time and again, balancing the needs of a nation against the desires of its people. But what happens when the very fabric of a nation threatens to unravel? What does it mean to compromise principles in the name of unity? George Washington grappled with these questions throughout his life, from the early days of the Constitutional Convention to the critical decision to stay neutral during the French Revolution to the tumultuous presidency that saw the rise of political parties and the explosive growth of the United States. Each choice, each compromise was a step into uncharted territory. There were times when he felt like an actor on a stage, playing a part he was expected to play well. And there were moments when the weight of the nation pressed down on him, making every decision feel like a mountain to climb. Washington's story isn't just about the man who led a nation to independence. It's about the choices he made, the compromises he wrestled with, and the legacy of a leader who defined the presidency while reshaping the course of American history. As we delve deeper into the life of George Washington, we'll explore the challenges that defined his era, from the complexities of the Constitutional Convention to the turbulent times of his presidency. You'll discover how he navigated the treacherous waters of international diplomacy, confronted domestic crises, and established precedents that shaped the future of the presidency. Join us as we uncover the hidden facets of George Washington's life and legacy. The air in Philadelphia was thick with tension, the summer heat mirroring the growing discontent among the delegates gathered at the Constitutional Convention. It was September 1787, and the fate of a new nation hung in the balance. The debate over representation had reached fever pitch. James Wilson of Pennsylvania, a staunch advocate for proportional representation, argued passionately for a system that considered a state's population when assigning representation. On the other side, William Patterson of New Jersey proposed the New Jersey Plan, which advocated for equal representation for states regardless of their size. As the arguments intensified, a hush fell over the room. The Virginia delegation, led by James Madison, had arrived with a proposal that threatened to tip the scales. Their plan, now known as the Great Compromise, offered a solution that was as ingenious as it was controversial. Representation in the lower house would be based on population, while in the upper house each state would have equal representation with 2 senators per state. It was a delicate balance, a compromise that addressed the concerns of both large and small states, but it wasn't without its critics. Many saw it as a betrayal of their initial positions, a concession that went too far. Nevertheless, the compromise was accepted, and with it, the deadlock was broken. This pivotal moment marked a significant shift in the convention. The path forward was not without challenges, but the acceptance of the Great Compromise set in motion a series of events that ultimately led to the birth of the United States Constitution. What if I told you that the iconic image of George Washington at Valley Forge was actually a carefully crafted myth designed to shape our perception of the Revolutionary War? The harsh winter of 1777 to 1778 was undoubtedly a difficult period for Washington and his troops at Valley Forge, but the notion that they endured unimaginable hardships and starvation while remaining steadfast in their commitment to the cause is a romanticized version of events. In fact, the Continental Army received regular supplies throughout the winter, although they were often delayed. Furthermore, accounts from soldiers present at Valley Forge suggest that while food was sometimes scarce, it was rarely so dire that cannibalism became a consideration. So why has this myth endured? What are the historical forces that have shaped our understanding of George Washington and the Continental Army struggle at Valley Forge? Join us as we examine the origins of this enduring myth and explore the real-life challenges and triumphs of George Washington and his troops during the winter of 1777 to 1778. Imagine yourself as George Washington on the brink of assuming the role that will define your life and the nation is destiny. As the delegates gather to formally select him as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, a sense of duty, excitement, and perhaps a touch of trepidation washes over you, aware that your reputation and the fate of the revolution rest upon your shoulders. But beneath the surface of this momentous occasion lies a secret that could shatter everything. Martha Dandridge Custis, your beloved wife, carries a heavy heart, torn between her love for you and her unwavering commitment to her late husband's estate and the happiness of her children. She fears that accepting the position may mean leaving behind the familiar shores of Virginia for the uncertain battles ahead. As you navigate this pivotal moment in your life, you must balance the demands of your new role with the weight of Martha's reservations. How will you reconcile the sacrifices required of your family with the duty to your country? Can love and duty coexist in the face of such monumental challenges? Join us as we explore the lesser-known aspects of George Washington's early life, focusing on his relationship with Martha and the challenges they faced during the start of the Revolutionary War. From balancing love and duty to overcoming personal sacrifices, we'll delve into the intricacies of their relationship and the impact it had on shaping George Washington's journey. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Your support means everything to us and helps us continue sharing these captivating stories. Together, let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep discovering the hidden gems of history. Thanks for watching.